Seems like it runs fine, yeah?
They converted it over, otherwise that bitch wouldn't have came over here.
Yeah, this car's so clean.
All right, so as we're in the background, we're working on getting the car ready for the track and for the next events that are coming up. We're gonna have to get underneath. We're gonna have to make sure we don't have any leaks, check over the bottom end of the engine. We're gonna check the top too. And then we're also gonna be tightening up things like the roll cage, making sure all that's good. The front legs on the roll cage are bolted. That will be getting changed very shortly, but we wanna make sure everything is tight, everything's secured, and make sure nothing comes up when we're on the track. Now let's talk about AngryCat, where this car came from, why it's just now on the channel, and a little bit of an overview on it. This vehicle is kind of a partnership vehicle. I partnered with one of our good friends, Vincent Carter, who is in Virginia, and he is the one who purchased the REDEYE initially and brought it to us several years back, and he wanted an exhaust. At the time, he wanted a GT Haas exhaust. For those who know what that is, it's like a $5,000 exhaust system. And me personally, I told him it was worthless. They're cool, they're nice exhaust systems, a lot of exotics run it, but for his situation, he didn't need it. So I told him, hey, let's do a cam kit instead. Cam kit quickly turned into more. As we know, once you start opening engines, people just get antsy and want to do more to them. And he wanted to send the supercharger off to get ported. At the time, I'm not gonna name bash because they took care of the issue, but we sent the blower off to get ported, and the timeline took longer than it should have. We called for an update and found out that for some reason, all of a sudden, the supercharger was now an interest of another buyer that the company that was porting it had. They asked us if they could buy the supercharger from us, and they said they needed a 2.7 for whatever reason. It was really an odd situation, and they said that in return for us giving them the 2.7 liter supercharger that had like 1,300 miles on it, they would give us a stage 2 Magnuson 2650. Now, if you ask me, that tells me one big thing. They broke something, they messed up something when they were porting, something of that sort. You don't just hand out a Magnuson 2650 for no reason. That was their way of making things right. So I'm not gonna drag them through the mud because they did the right thing at the end of the day, whether they admitted to it or not. Something happened there. I don't think the story is exactly how it was. Once we got the Magnuson 2650, Vince called me and he's like, hey, you think we should do something else to the engine? I was like, we can. And then we decided to go ahead and do a 426 stroker, who my buddy Luke over at Steve White Motors at the time had a short block, which was a 426 already. Grabbed that short block, had it coming on the way. And then we were like, hey, let's do more. So then we went ahead and did the cam that we initially were gonna do. Not a bad cam, but a mild cam. It's, at the time, was one of the only cams we could choose from. There wasn't a whole lot of variety on the HELLCAT platform. So we put that cam in. The cam performed great. It didn't do horrible, but it is a blower car. So, it doesn't take a whole lot to overpower the fact of if the cam was good or not, because all you have to do is really think of, if you give more boost, you can kind of overcome if a cam or something like that is not performing as it should. So in the process of that, while we were getting the cam installed, we came with like, hey, let's go ahead and do the heads. So BES Racing, Bez Racing, however you want to say it. We got ported and polished heads from them on the build as well. And then now we have this monstrosity of an engine, which I'll leave on the screen. That was the engine we had. 426 stroker, fully forged, ported heads, custom cam, Magnuson 2650. At this point now, we're starting to get overboard. So then we went ahead and got a one-piece carbon fiber drive shaft, a set of Cook's long tube headers. We got a set of DSS Racing 1400 horsepower axles, and we're just building more and more. Now, at the beginning stages, when the cam kit was in talk, we were just doing it as a customer. Soon he became a friend of ours. So we ended up sponsoring the vehicle and put a lot of time, labor, effort, and our own dollars into the build as well. And that's where it became a mutual build. It's a shop car. It's something that we built together. Therefore, people will hear us refer to the car as our shop car, our race car. It's not 100% ours, but it is our baby. That's why we refer to it as such. We have full authorization to race it, drive it, whatever we need to do, we will help with that car. So that car is not something that's necessarily a customer's car. It's not 100% our car, but if you want to line up against it, I will race you in that car and I don't care. That is our promotional vehicle. That's what we call it. It's our shop car, AngryCat. Thanks to Vince for everything he's done up to this point. The partnership that we've grown over the years has been wonderful. As you can see in the background, it has Anderson Composites carbon doors. Those are dry carbons that we clear coated. We put a Anderson Composites Demon cowl hood on it to clear the supercharger. It has the Anderson Composites trunk, Anderson Composites carbon spoiler. It has a set of weld wheels that we provided, as well as the Mickey Thompsons that are on it. Exhaust is a stock other than the long tube headers. It does have nitrous on it, which you'll see us take out in this video as well. We took the bottle out of the trunk because we weren't running nitrous on this event. We're just trying to get things dialed in. Lo and behold, though, this car was a brand new car we tore apart. We had a mutual partnership. We started building it together. So this is AngryCat. This is our shop car, and I drove 40 hours to go get it so we could bring it out to Texas, do some racing, do some advertising, do some promo, basically do that. And then we're also going to be doing more upgrades. We're going to rip the cam out of it. Cam's not really sufficeful for what we're doing. We're going to be putting the FRP max effort supercharger cam in this HELLCAT behind us, and we're going to retune everything. We're also putting a simple speed and performance transmission in it. You heard me list off the mods list. Yes, the transmission is stock. This car makes in the 4 digits. I'm not going to lay the number out there on what it makes, but it makes from the 4 digits. It's very fast, and it's on a stock transmission. It's not going to last very long. Right now, we're doing our testing on the stock side. Then we're going to get the simple speed and performance transmission installed. And we've already discussed this with Simple. He has a transmission ready for us, a converter ready for us. It's going to work good for this build. And the sky's the moon, and we're going to turn this thing up. We were supposed to go to Texas 2K. We're not going to make that. Probably leaning more towards Florida 2K time frame before we're going to be able to actually competitively race this. However, you're about to see us race today at XRP right here on this channel. Make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned to the video. Don't click off. The races are coming up very soon after this. You're going to see the issues we encounter with this vehicle. Everything's not going to be perfect. You're going to run into problems. We're going to overcome those problems. And the main thing we're going to start off with is FRP tuning. If you guys don't know, that is our main person who we do all of our tuning with. They do all of our parts supplies, from our cam kits to our drop-ins to our forged rotating assemblies to our strokers, everything. That's the ones we use. Ryan at FRP is out at the trackside with us. He's going to help us get this thing dialed in. We're going to get everything fine-tuned as much as we can with the passes that we're allowed in between rounds. And let's see how things go. Catch you guys here in a few. Make sure you stay tuned. Let us know in the comment section what you'd like to see this car do, any modifications you want us to go over, any installs you want us to go over, and we'll let you know. From the roll cage that's in it to everything else, we're going to give you full in-depth reviews of things, goods, bads, uglies, over the next course of a few weeks, months, years, whatever. We're also going to be putting a parachute on this, an engine diaper, getting it fully race ready. Stay tuned to the channel. Let's get into the racing. All right, so this is our first pass. We got this thing lined up. This car has never been on a track before, so we're not gonna launch hard. We're not gonna try to get every bit of time we can get out of this. We're not even gonna probably use the full throttle. We're just gonna go out on this tune that has not been modified. This is the tune we had from 2 years ago, and we're gonna see how it does. And then from there, with the data log that we're running, Ryan from FRP is gonna dial in a tune, make some modifications, write his own file for it, and he's going to see what he can get out of this car. Let's see how this first pass does on the tune that it came in on. All right, was not good. First off, in the burnout, before you can see in the video, when we tried to do the burnout, I was having some weird issues. It didn't want to actually do the burnout. We got a little bit of smoke going, but we did not get nearly enough heat in the tires, and it was spinning, as you can see by the tracks as it left. I left a little bit after the other car because I had never had this car on the track, and if something happened, we lost control. I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting them at risk, so I let them go first, and then I went. That's where the delay came from. Now we're gonna turn it back around, get it cooled off. Let's get ready for the next pass. So we have the FRP tune loaded now. This is gonna be a mild pass. Everything should be good. We wanna make sure that before we go all out, that the car is functioning somewhat as it should. And you're about to see really quick some issues that we're gonna have. First off, you're gonna see it stall out. The throttle is having some kind of a weird issue. For some reason, I have no throttle. I had to end up backing up out of the beams because when I went and staged and I started giving it throttle, I had nothing. It wasn't responding, it wasn't keeping it idling, ultimately it just died. We don't know right now if it's something we need to modify in the file. We don't know if it's a mechanical issue. We're gonna try to do this pass and then come back on the next one and see what's wrong. Alright, now we're on our third pass. Ryan has revised the tune, dialed it in a little bit, but he's seeing something weird going on with the throttle body. We're kind of leaning towards something mechanical, so we're going to do this pass and see if we can find out if it's 100% tuning or mechanical. Ryan has thrown some things at it in the background to kind of narrow it down. If this does not work and we still see this issue, we're gonna have to fix something. We have a mechanical issue in the throttle system, something in the throttle or wiring that we're gonna have to go back to the pits to fix. So let's see what we have. Again. So about half track this time, the car fell on its face. We lost all throttle response, and as you can see, the Challenger just kind of walked away from us. We are a lot more modified than that Challenger, so there's no reason it should have walked away that fast, but it ended up being a mechanical issue. So it looks like we have a problem with the throttle system, with the throttle body. We think we found it. We got a Kong throttle body, thanks to Daniel Escamilla. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he's at the pits with us. He happened to just have a Kong 108 throttle body for a Hellcat just sitting in his car that he's not using, it's brand new. So he ended up getting it to us so we can test to see if this fixes our problem. We're gonna go out now, and we're gonna swing for the fences because now that we've done a little drive around the pits, it seems like it's responding a lot better. We're gonna swing for the fences on this one. Ryan's gonna load up a hot, spicy tune, and we're gonna see what we can do because I think we're lined up against something pretty fast this next race. From what I've seen, I think it's an actual bracket car. One of the cars that's racing in the main event is lining up for test and tune against us, so let's see if we can't take him out and get a win light turned on before the night's over with. Let's see how it does. All right, all in all, went well, went very well. We got the wind light turned on. I'm not sure if he had issues or what. That car should have been a lot faster than we are. But our times from when we first started to now, we've picked up about almost 2 seconds from when we first started racing in the 8th mile. So we got something going in the right direction. It all comes down to mechanical parts going right and tuning. Thanks to Ryan, thanks to FRP, FRPtuning.com. If you want to get your ride tuned, make sure you shout out Ryan and FRP and the team. If you need to get anything installed, give us a shout, nightandayperformance.com. All the parts that we have on all the builds that we have, we get them from FRP. We usually have most of them here with us. If not, we can have them within a couple days, and we can get your car running how you want it to. But like I said, thank you to Ryan. Thank you to the FRP team. Thank you for the support. Thank you for backing us and coming out here at the track with us. This is your event that you sponsored, not your event, but you sponsored the event. You invited us out, but you also went out of your way and helped us get this red-eye dialed in. We only had 4 passes this one because unfortunately a bad crash is about to happen. I'll share it on the screen right after this. There's a bad crash. It ends up shutting down the lanes, and whenever I do that, I'm not racing after I see a big crash at the top end of the track. That's just asking for problems. This car has probably $200,000 worth of money into it, from time, sweat, labor, everything else. I'm not putting it in the wall and test and tune when I'm not even making any money on it. So we're gonna go ahead and pack up, head back, and get some more stuff done at the shop. Catch you guys on the next video. Matt from Night and Day Performance signing off. Check out this next video. Hope all the drivers are good. Hope they can fix their cars. Catch you guys later.